Undoubtedly, the most important thing that every GTA 6 fan wants to know right now is when is the game coming out? September, October, November tend to be the most common months speculated for GTA 6 to come out. Hot Coffee Club has made a video titled, "Has the GTA 6 release window been narrowed down?" The thumbnail says November. I want to see what their thoughts are.
It was confirmed that GTA 6 is still on track to be released in autumn or fall this year, just a few months away now. Obviously that's not set in stone, but I think it's a really good sign considering it's getting quite close now and they don't really have much time left to delay it in.
So to be clear, the last month that they can do that in from a fiduciary responsibility, i.e. from a legal perspective, for investors, they must tell investors by May what's happening. Do they expect GTA 6 to come out this year or next?
But a new talking point has emerged in the GTA community, and that is that Take-Two may have inadvertently narrowed down GTA 6's release date. It's all to do with Borderlands 4, which is one of the bigger releases of this year. It's certainly not on the scale of GTA 6, but
Borderlands 4 is developed by another studio that is also under Take-Two Interactive, which of course is the studio that owns Rockstar, owning GTA 6 of course.
And the CEO of Take-Two, Strauss Zelnick, has previously said that Borderlands 4 and GTA 6 won't release close together. In an
I don't remember this interview, but okay.
interview with Variety magazine, he said, "I think it's safe to say that we wouldn't, and no one would, stack up huge releases unnecessarily." Now, we found out recently.
So when was that interview? Strauss Zelnick is the CEO of Take-Two Interactive, Rockstar Games, but I don't remember him saying specifically that that would be the case. Now, many of us have assumed that they wouldn't want to cannibalize Borderlands 4's release with GTA 6 because of course GTA 6 is way more popular than Borderlands is. I don't remember the CEO actually putting out a statement saying that they wouldn't cannibalize the release.
That Borderlands 4 is due to be released on the 23rd of September 2025. That's obviously well within GTA 6's release window. In the Northern Hemisphere, which is obviously what we're going off here, autumn or fall includes September, October, and November. So some have been speculating that the Borderlands 4 release date could mean that GTA 6 is coming out in November. Now that's certainly possible, I think
a lot of people are saying October. In fact, obviously Kotaku has come up with October 28. I'm personally in the camp of October, I think, because November is when Call of Duty comes out, and I don't expect that Take-Two will want to be competing with Microsoft or Activision for Call of Duty. It's still a competition that I think GTA 6 would win hands down, but it would still be a bit surprising, given that there's no reason, in my opinion, for them to release it, say, on say the 16th of October, which is a few weeks after Borderlands comes out, but also hopefully a few weeks before Call of Duty comes out, and of course a couple of months before we have Christmas season, where of course everyone's going to be buying new video games to play.
November is the latest you could push it in terms of 2025. I don't think Rockstar would release it in December. That's just too close to the holidays. But early to mid-November is certainly possible, I think. But I also don't think we should read too much into this Borderlands 4 release date. Even though they have the same parent company, I doubt that Gearbox would know what Rockstar have in mind in terms of a release date.
I disagree. I'm not sure that they will know exactly what the release date is for GTA 6. However, I do believe that from an earnings perspective, Take-Two Interactive would not want any of their releases to impact one another in any meaningfully negative way. And I do think that GTA 6 would impact Borderlands 4 in a meaningful way if they were both released too close to each other. So I don't think they know the exact dates, but I do think that especially upper management will be given the information that they need to make sure that all of the studios under the Take-Two umbrella are working together for the best game sales possible.
At least they probably don't know much or anything more than we do, for example. And ultimately, GTA 6 is the bigger game. It's the much bigger game. It's the biggest game of the year. And Take-Two would just be setting themselves up for failure if they released Borderlands 4 and GTA 6 close to.
Exactly, which is why I don't think that they would want to do it together. Again, I'm not saying even the CEO of Gearbox, whatever the company was called, I'm not even sure that they would know the exact date, but I think they'd be given some advice from Take-Two Interactive. This is when we don't want you to release the game.
And so if Rockstar said, we want to release GTA 6 in September, Gearbox would probably have to roll over and delay Borderlands 4, maybe even until next year. Just because it's got a firm announced release date doesn't mean it can't be delayed. We've seen that with, Red Dead Redemption 2, for example.
So again, given that Borderlands is due for September, and given that Call of Duty is mostly due in November, that's normally when it comes out, I believe at least. I know it wasn't last year, it was October, but generally speaking, I wouldn't be surprised for like a November 11, for example, release date for Call of Duty. But I think that they'll want to try to avoid, probably I would call Call of Duty the highest profile release outside of GTA, for example. It's always the highest profile release because it's Call of Duty for damn sake. But given that they don't want to cannibalize their other title, Borderlands, I would suggest that a mid-October release is probably a safe bet. But don't get me wrong, I'm not saying that it couldn't come out in November. Realistically, I do believe that GTA 6 would absolutely win in game sales compared to Call of Duty, simply because GTA 6, I wouldn't call it the game of the year. I'd call it the game of the decade, and Call of Duty simply will never compete with that